Welcome back to the channel. The last video was a report on the breakage on the rocker arms on the Dart, and I put the curb feelers out and on Facebook, and just so happened that one of the channel subscribers and viewers saw the video and my post, and he messaged me and says he's got a set of rocker arms for sale, and it's unbelievable. Within 2 weeks of breaking it, I've got another set of rocker arms here. He sold them to me for a really good price, so super appreciative of Mr. Raymond. He knows who he is, and he definitely hooked me up and saved me from having the car down for a long time. T&D and Harlan Sharp are just not in the cards, not only just because of the price, but the time frame or the turnaround time on getting a new set from them is just ridiculous still. So but anyway, we got another set of soldiers. Already took the adjuster out of one, and you can see there are some minor differences. The thickness here of the where the push rod or the adjuster goes on this rocker arm versus this one, and the oil hole that comes out the top, which I'm not sure if I should plug that hole or leave it open, because it has the oil hole for the push rod, and it has the spring oiler, but I don't see a purpose for the oil hole on the top. These rocker arms don't have that, but there are some subtle differences between them. Like I said, the thickness here, but also separate them. Maybe you can see this a little better, but if you can see that, look how much bigger, how much more material is on the one on the left here in that cross section. Maybe it's easier to compare this way, but yeah, look at the thickness difference. I think with that thickness difference is going to be a little bit of extra weight. This rocker arm, the new one, it's kind of arched. It has like a bridge arch to the arm itself, and you can see the old one is just straight. It's kind of like a elephant trunk, and this one kind of has it's like a hammerhead. So there are some minor differences, but see if we can get, yeah, that's a good, like, there's hardly any wear in these. My old ones are bushed, but these ones aren't, and there's not enough wear in there, I don't think, to warrant bushing these ones. The rocker shafts have the banana grooves in the bottom for the extra oil delivery, so that's where the load is, but they have the grooves in them, and they have one extra oiling hole in the groove, and then so they've got the regular oil hole, and then they've got the banana groove with the oil hole. And it looks like they have a lot of wear, but you can't even feel that. It's just a coloration difference, really. But yeah, so the last video was kind of doom and gloom, but this one is a little more upbeat. Like I said, I can't thank Mr. Raymond Della Rosa for hooking me up with this set of rocker arms. And I mean, he was even willing to ship them at no cost, but I wasn't going to do that. I mean, he didn't have to sell me the arms. He could have just sat on them, but he did sell them to me. So, but I guess that kind of shows you the Mopar family. Even though Facebook is kind of, I don't know, sometimes it's crazy with Mopar people. They're very extreme one way or the other, or just, I don't know. So you guys know, you put something on there for sale and or whatever, and people come out of the woodwork with their opinions or comments or whatever, and it's like, do I even want to stay in these groups? But and then again, you know, take that with a grain of salt, because I put the curb feeler out, and within a week, you know, I had multiple people messaging me saying that they had rocker arms, or they think they have some, and they were going to look and see if they had any, and just happened to be able to get a whole set, you know, exhaust and intake. So it's a good deal. So the only thing is that with these rocker arms, so if I flip those over, turn them this way, so you can see that this is the old trash one. It had been clearanced for a high lift camshaft, and big springs for solid mechanical roller camshaft. So this arm, I'm going to have to blend out the spring pocket and where the push rod, this little, I don't know, milled out dimple here for the push rod cup. I think when this particular camshaft is trying to open this rocker arm as far as it needs to go, it's going to bind up right here on the cup. So I need to take some material out of there and kind of blend it back a little bit. There's a ton of meat there. It's probably like 3/16 of an inch thick. Camera may not be picking it up, but it's pretty thick in there. So there's plenty of material to remove here to get that to where the push rod cup will fit in there nicely. But these are heavy compared to this one. I mean, you can feel the difference. So, but for now, we're going to grind all of these to make them the same, and swap them out, and then I'll keep all of these ones that are bushed that are on there now as replacements, just in case something happens and another one or one of these break, or anything happens, I'll have a couple extra. But these old ones, this motor turns 8,000 RPM, and it's hard telling how many runs or passes or pulls on the dyno or that these things have on them. It could be a substantial number. It could, I don't know, but 8,000 RPM is quite a lot for fatigue parts, and rocker arms are a fatigue part. They're under constant strain, so they're just prone to break. So, and that's what happened. The rocker arm didn't break, but the adjuster did. So also under an immense amount of strain with these heavy spring pressures. I think these are comp 999 springs in these heads. So I think they have I think I looked and the spring rate was 630. So closed. These ones valve closed with the shim pack and everything in there for the installed height. Everything, I think these are like 230 on the seat. And they're open. It's aggressive. So the rocker arms are just under a lot of abuse. So I guess it's to be expected that one will break occasionally. So so I'm gonna get to grinding on these, and we'll pick up the video after I get them all finished, or as I'm blending these in and making comparisons. And I'll have to thread the adjuster back in and check the angle where the cup, where I think it's going to clear, and then try it on the shaft and see if it's going to actually clear if the push rod cup clears right here. And I'm not sure, but this area here may need relieved a little bit too. It's very wide, so there's a lot of material here, but this thickness here, you can see where this one is more curved up. They relieve that one. They do not want that to touch the retainer. If it hits the retainer and drops the valve, then it's the show's over. So we don't want that to happen. So these rocker arms are going to get a little bit of love before they go on there, and I'll show you as I go what I've done and where we're at. So for now, we'll catch back up here shortly when I've got one of them near completion. Okay, so I've got one rocker arm switch. So this is one of the new ones. As you can see, I blended that spring pocket out quite a bit. May still need just a skosh right here, but we'll see. And then I clearanced the arm right here itself, and gave it more of a radius, I guess you would say, because if you look at this one, you can see how much meat is here in this arm, and then this arm. So I took some out, but not a lot. I'm not trying to grind the daylights out of it or remove a bunch of material, just trying to get enough out of there to make sure it don't hit. And I smoothed it out a little bit too. Just figure the smoother it is, the less oil will collect on them, and flinging around in the valve cover pan. You want the oil where it's supposed to be, not just flinging around everywhere. So I'm definitely thinking about plugging that hole. I can probably just put a spot of MIG weld in there and fill that hole up without having to do anything to the inside. I just don't see a reason for it. So, but see, I marked here in green with the adjuster in there. You can let's see. It's hard to do. But, so imagine the adjuster. Oh. Well, not enough hands for this, so, but imagine the adjuster sticking out of there, the ball, and then when this rocker arm, when the push rod pushes up to lift the valve or open the valve, you need clearance depending on how far out the ball is for the adjuster. If it's in further, obviously you need more clearance. So at high lifts, you don't end up binding the push rod where that green mark is. You can see where it scuffed it right there, just in that half-assed tutorial. But so I'm going to open that up a little bit, try to give it a very wide radius, but where it gives it enough room for that push rod when the valve tries to open. As you can, there's a lot of thickness in that material there, so none of the strength will go away. It's just you have to have the right clearance. So I'm gonna grind on this one a little bit more, and I'll show you the after I grind it a little bit. Alright, so here's the rocker arms, the intake rocker arms, once I got them ground and clearance. I cleaned them up basically all the way around. Didn't really need to do that part, but figured while I had the grinder out, might as well. But you can see clearance, open this clearance up for the push rod on each one. Opened up this clearance here for the spring. So this is what they looked like for the spring pocket where it was clearanced, and now you can see where they were, where I opened them up to clear the bigger springs. So gonna test fit it on there and see what happens. So here's the arms installed. The rocker shaft back on it, and I ran through the valves already, but I had to take them. I put it on initially, and then I had to take it back off and move the shims from between the rockers to next to the stands to get the intake rocker centered over the valve. But yeah, it all looks good now. So nothing to it but to put the valve cover back on, spark plug wires, and see if we can fire it up. It's cold today. Here in Ohio it's like 40 degrees, so it's probably not going to be real happy trying to start, but gonna try it anyway. So gonna throw that on there real quick and we'll see what happens. Well, as you heard, it's running again, so sounds good. Not a lot of rattle. I set the lash on the adjusters at 17 thou cold, a loose 17. So sounds good. It's not making a lot of clatter or anything. But I let it warm up to about 100 and, I don't know, 30 degrees or so. It's a little chilly here today in Ohio. It's like 40. Oh no. Yeah, you can see my breath. Yeah, I want to give another shout out to Mr. Raymond De La Rosa for selling these rocker arms to me and putting some wind back in the poison dart sails here, and hopefully if the Ohio weather straightens up, we'll have it out on the road again, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, it might be 50 tomorrow, but this coming week it's gonna be warm, so we'll definitely have it out sometime this week and get another video out. I gotta go charge the draggy up and see what's what with that maybe this week. So thanks for watching again. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share this with your Mopar buddies. We'll talk at you later.